Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike James here, and I want to speak to you all about something I wrote an ebook about it. It's 10 ways to change for good in 10 days. One of the things, the first topic that I want you to actually understand when it comes to getting more of what you want in life and actually physically changing for good is that you have to be intentional about what's your purpose and what's your reason. Now, this isn't going to be a long, drawn out video about finding your purpose and what your purpose is. You actually know your purpose is. It's what you wake up for and you go to every day. It doesn't define you, but your actions are actually what you become. So the first thing I want you to realize, so we're going to start with be intentional, right? So what does this mean to you? When I say be intentional, what I mean is that we all are given the same 24 hours in the day. The only difference, whether you're rich, you're poor, black, white, Hispanic, we all get the same 24 hours. The only difference is someone who is laser focused on what their purpose and their reason is for every day are the same people that actually get more done throughout the day. A lot of people, the first thing they do when they wake up in the morning is they'll grab their phone and they'll look at their phone and they'll make all of these scrolling, looking at someone else's life. Unless you are actually somebody who's creating content for someone and you're studying the algorithms of it, which I guarantee 99.9% of us are not doing, there's no reason to actually just continuously scrolling through. You'll lose 20 to 30 minutes on average scrolling. So let's put this here. We're going to go with no phone first thing in the morning, right? The reason behind you want no phone is because that is not what your purpose is. Unless you're designing a new app or you're actually creating content. Like if you first thing you do, you wake up and you want to monitor that this is the time that you woke up, that's perfect, but that's not what this is about. So no phone is the next step. Next is, what is your purpose? Are you someone who needs to work out? Do you have any health and fitness goals or things that you're trying to develop and work out? Well, if that is something that you want to do, the first thing you want to focus on is actually your health. We'll say second thing. Your health is the second thing you're going to start with, right? So no phone, focus on your health. 2 priorities. We're not even going any deeper into that at all. So these are the 2 things that I want you to start doing in the first thing in the morning is prioritizing your health and getting off your phone and being intentional about what it is that you want to do every day. So now that we're intentional, what is our goal? Every day is an incremental step to our big goals. So you got to set yourself a big goal. Make it so fucking crazy that when you set your goal that somebody thinks that you're crazy when you hear it. Yo, I want to make $10 million in 5 years. That's actually my own personal goal. That's actually, so if you want to make that your goal, is that I'm going to make $10 million in 5 years. So now, your goal is now, what is your big goal? Let's do this here. Your big goal. You draw a big circle. $10 million, right? So now, you have to start taking inventory of your life, which is another one of this 10 ways to change for good. One of the things that I put in there is taking inventory of your life. Who are the people you hang around with? What is the food that you're eating? What is the audio and the books that you're reading that takes constant, what are you taking in every day that is getting you towards $10 million, right? So now, the reason why your health is directly related to your wealth is because in order to put in the work, in order to reach that astronomical number there, is that you're going to need to be well rested. You're going to have good energy levels, mental clarity, and all of those things in order to achieve this $10 million goal. So that's why you're prioritizing your health. No phone when you wake up only. Only when you wake up, no phone. Try it for 20 minutes. Don't touch your phone. Just get up and find something else to do. What is that something else you're going to do? Your health. Take 20 minutes and do some sort of exercise. Don't worry about doing an hour. We're trying to create and develop a big habit. It's 10 ways to change for good in 10 days. So anyhow, now that we have our big time goal is $10 million, now we're going to put these little arms out here. 6, let's see. I'm going to do 7 of these, right? So now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So the significance of this is that we're going to take this down into 1 week, right? 1 week, everything that you do is going to have to pertain to how can you reach your $10 million goal. First thing is going to be take inventory. All right, I already said that. Take inventory. All right. So now inventory is both, like I said, the people you surround yourself with, your job, and now, so when it comes to your job, how much is your job paying you, right? So your job, if your job's paying you a salary, let's say roughly you get $20 an hour, right? You're getting paid $20 an hour, right? Keep in mind that I also said we all have 24 hours, right? 24 hours in a day. So now we're going to allot for all 24 hours in all 7 of these days to work towards our $10 million goals. Now, in those 7 days, we may or may not, I don't know, you may have the solution to everyone's problem that's worth $10 million that you can get in 7 days. The goal is that the 7 days that we're going to do, we're going to take inventory of how we can get to $10 million. So your job pays you $20 an hour, right? So now, let's say you work 40 hours a week. Keep the numbers easy. I'm not very good at math, so we're going to just do that. So now, we're going to say 20 hours, $20 an hour, right? You work 40 hours a week at your job, right? So now, you got 40 hours a week, so we'll say $800 a week, right? You make $800 a week, right? So then what's 40 times, let's say 5? We got 40 times 5 is 20 hours, right? Or 200, it's 200 hours, right? Told you I'm not good at math. So you got 200 hours in a week, right? That you're doing this, of the 24 hours. So out of the 24 hours, 40 hours is gone, right? So let's say 8 hours. You work 8 hours a day. So now you take 8 from that, that's 16. So you have 16 hours in a day. After the 8 hours you work, we still have not even taken into inventory that you have to go to sleep. So now, we say, let's say the national average is recommended. People don't get it. I personally believe people sleep 5 to 10 hours a day. But let's just say, for the sake of, we're going to maximize the time that you have to execute, which is going to be important to get into this $10 million. We're going to say that you need 8 hours. That's because you're going to need to be well rested. They've done tons of things. Sleep is not just for suckers, and sleep is not for broke people. Sleep is for people who are executors. Especially like if you get up and you spend 8 hours of sleep, right? So you take that. So now you got 8 hours of sleep. What's crazy is now with 8 hours of sleep, you only have 8 hours left in the day, right? So now you only have 8 hours left in the day. So now you got to pinpoint to how much time you're going to eat. You get lunch breaks at work and things like that. So in those lunch breaks, what are you doing with those lunch breaks? So now, with 8 hours left, if you're trying to get to $10 million at $20 an hour, you're going to have to find another way to make more money than $800 a week. And let's say 20 times 8 is $160 a day. So now let me write that down so I remember it, so I don't have to do math on the spot like that again. So anyhow, you're going to find a way that you need to make more than $160 a day. So now, this is nothing to do. This is your long-term goal. We're going to say, let's make it a crazy number, 10 years. That's $1 million a year, right? So you need, let's say, 10-year goal, right? It's $1 million a year. So now, in order to get that $800 a week, let's say times 52, let's see, I got to do this. I got to write it out, guys. I got to write it out because that's what I do. 16, 0, 0, 40. So then, boom. There we go. So we're only looking at 41.6. I had to see how much that was annually. So $20 an hour is $41,600 a year. That ain't $1 million a year. So we're still coming up $860,000 short. So we're not going to get there in a year. So now that we take inventory on day one, right? Next, we're going to find out what is our number, right? First of all, I'm not a whiteboard candidate because in school, the way I take notes is in my own head. So if you can't even read this, trust me, just rewind it back and I'll re-explain it to you again. So you got to find out what's your number. Your number is the number that it takes to be you every day. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but what I've gotten advice from was a financial advisor was that how much does it cost to be you? And this is not like And I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to preach scarcity, saving, and all this other kind of things, because you're always going to have to save or earn to get to here. Either way, it's going to save, earn, invest. It's the only three things that you can do. So now it's here. So what's your number? Let's say in order to get that number now, you have to find out how much does it cost to live with you? How much does it cost to feed your family? How much does it cost to operate your vehicle? How much does it cost to take care of your health? How much does that cost? How much does your gym membership? Like, you got to look at your bank statement, open it up, and see what your spending habits are. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you that you have to start being intentional about what you're doing. You can't just swipe your card, swipe your credit, wait for the bill to show up, then spend your money. So now, after you know what your number is, let's find out how much do we have to make a day to get to $10 million, all right? So let's say it's $1 million a year, right? So minus 365. So anyone got a calculator? Do what's 1 million divided by 365?
Uh, 2,739.
So now you need to make 2,700. Look at this. I'm so bad at math, I can't even write numbers, but I'm still moving, right? I don't dwell. I can correct my mistakes. You can roast me in the comments anyhow. So it's $2,739 that you have to make a day to make $1 million a year. So right now, at $20 an hour, you're only making $160 a day. So now, there's more than one way to skin a cat. You can either become a more skillful person in your job to increase your salary there, which you would have to be intentional. That means the moves you make at your job, that you would have to start being more punctual what it is. Maybe rubbing shoulders with your boss and then finding out like what kind of certifications and things you can get. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you that I'm an optimist. So I'm a solution-oriented person. I can find ways to make anything happen. There's no such thing as a bad day. It's just you need to reassess the situation and move forward. So anyhow, you need to make $279. So now that we know that our number daily is that is our number that it takes to reach our goal for $10 million in a year, in 10 years though. So if you want this faster, you have to go up more and more and more and more and more. But I promise you that once you find out what it takes to reach that number there, this number goes up no matter what. It's because now your moves are money moves. Shout out to Cardi B. And then so now you got to make the money moves. And so now you got to start educating yourself and growing further. There's tons of opportunities out there. One of the ways that I am trying to reach my number of 10 million, I got involved in real estate investing, right? So you may have heard it before. It's a lot of things to where it's like, how can you get started in real estate with little to no money and things like that? And people may say things like scam and all these other things, but when you come down to it, everything's a scam, everything's a pyramid scheme until it pays you. Then it's not a scam anymore. Once the money's in the account, it's not a scam anymore. So what I want to say is that, so when I found out what my number is like, what does it take to feed my family? It actually costs, without a doubt, this is not a flex at all, it costs $7,200 a month right now, currently, to take care of my family. And it's like, and that's just with our comfort level, that's what it takes. So I constantly have to come up with ways to make sure that I maintain and I keep this number. So now that I found out what's my number, so let me start a new, here, we're gonna find out, take inventory. I'm terrible at taking notes. This is actually a learning lesson. This is me getting out of my comfort zone because I don't take notes. I'm not a whiteboard person. I'm just trying to create some content to give you guys value here. So now, but this is what goes on in my head. So now you got to find out what's your number. Take inventory. What's your number? Now you got to make the money moves. Make a decision. Make a decision. Now, what does make a decision mean? You already took an inventory of your life. You know the people you need to set boundaries with. You know the number that you need to get to where you want. So my decision was I needed to become a real estate investor because I found out that that is the way to multiply your income up to 10 times faster by becoming an investor. I also do cryptocurrency because that has the most return on your investment. So anyhow, I became skilled in both cryptocurrency and in real estate investing. How? I sought mentorship. I asked for people to help me get to my goal. It's not that I'm asking to help, and then it costs money to do these things. Like all of it costs money. Some people are saving up to go to Disney. Some people are saving up to buy some J's. Some people are saving up to go to Vegas. And life is meant to be enjoyed. I'm putting my life on pause because I say 10 years. I'm going for 5 years, as I said before. My life is on pause for 5 years. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. And then, so the reason why you got to do that is that make a decision that you want $10 million and you take an inventory, you know your number, make a decision that's going to get you towards this number, this $2,739, right? So now that you make the decision, now you seek mentorship. When you make the decision now, who can help me? Who can help you get to where you want to be? That's where you hear, and all of the positivity, all the mindset things is finding your net worth is in your network, the people that you know, the things that you're doing. And then so now what we're going to do now is that we're going to make sure that we find out, locate who can help us. Right now, that's a mentor. So you find someone who's in the space that can help you get to this number here, guys. So now, once you find out who can help you, what you need to do now is take action. I'm going to wrap this up right now and I'm going to edit it, but I'm going to post this. This is my first time doing this, but we're going to do it. So take action. Seek